The effects attending an HBCU has on an individual's mentality towards colorism by Michele Basden. For the purposes of this study, I aim to investigate the type of impact attending an historically Black college or university has on a young Black individual's ability to coexist within a society that tolerates colorism. Colorism alone is a very important issue to discuss. There is significant evidence that suggests it can have major impacts on an individual's mental state, whether that be psychological, social, or emotional. With colorism being so rampant in many areas of the world, we should examine its effects, particularly in differing environments. For example, how does a young Black adult discovering a new aspect of their life deal and cope with colorism within their personal environment? By new aspect, I mean a college or university. Does attending an HBCU matter for a Black individual in regards of self-security, confidence, and coping mechanisms? These are the questions I hope to explore in my proposed research. Some background information. The term colorism is believed to first be coined by American novelist and poet Alice Walker in 1982. It was used to describe the prejudicial and preferential treatment of individuals belonging to the same race solely based on the pigmentation of their skin. In the United States, known for its history of Eurocentric beauty standards, evidently participates in colorism. The concept, however, as mentioned before, can be attributed to societies all over the world, particularly in countries where European colonization took place. Colorism in history. Slaves were assigned jobs based on their skin color. Darker-skinned slaves were given more strenuous and difficult work that took place mostly outside. Their lighter-skinned counterparts, however, were given more prestigious slave work and mostly worked on the inside. Skin color comes based on slaves who would have children for their white masters. They were considered to be better. Therefore, not only did discrimination take place during this time period on a racial level, skin pigmentation and colorism also played a major role. Lighter pigmentations were said to be closer to the ideal and thusly better. There's an abundance of literature that exists and suggests the prevalence of colorism within the American society. I'm going to mostly talk about research that involves women because in today's society where beauty standards are so high and prevalent, it is a lot of research is being done about that perspective of colorism. So, with that being said, Black female individuals, according to one study, received the greatest effects of colorism. Lighter-skinned individuals are favored over their darker counterparts. Furthermore, lighter-skinned women receive higher educational levels. They are more likely to graduate high school and apply and get into colleges and universities. Moreover, lighter-skinned women often attain more prestigious careers. They are more likely to climb the ladders of their career choice. There is also evidence that suggests that lighter-skinned women go through life with a higher level of confidence and self-esteem, which directly impacts their emotional and social health. Similar studies also should suggest that women with lighter complexions are likely to marry men with a higher profile status. Lastly, according to some studies, women with lighter skin are considered to be more attractive and more trustworthy than their darker skinned counterparts. I mention all of these things because we can clearly see here how the negative impacts or the negative associations regarding skin can impact people of color regardless of their mentality towards it, but it could also impact the mentality itself or the confidence level, the self-esteem. This is just me reiterating that this phenomenon does not only affect women, but a lot of the research that exists focuses on that perspective. So my research question is, what is the correlation between attending an HBCU and the mental effects of colorism and Eurocentrism? I hypothesize that HBCUs affect the resistance Black individuals have against the mental effects associated with colorism and Eurocentrism. My independent variable is the attendance to an HBCU. This can easily be manipulated within the study. Some participants are able to go to an HBCU, others opt not to go to an HBCU, and some participants opt to not go to any college or university at all. The dependent variable, on the other hand, is the mentality towards colorism and Eurocentrism. This is not manipulated by the researcher, but this is the variable that we plan to study. So the research design that I am going to utilize within the study is a formal experiment design, and I also plan to use a pre-test and post-test. With this type of experimental design, we are able to compare our experimental groups to a control group, which will help in eliminating the possibility that an external variable influenced our results. The formal experimental design is also very straightforward and time-saving if done correctly. I plan to use the pre-test and post-test within the experiment through the use of surveys. So now we can go on to our methods. 30 individuals between the ages of 18 to 20 who are graduating from high school and identify as African American or Black would make up our participants. This number is ideal because the study can be conducted efficiently and with adequate data. Participants must live within the United States. There will be 3 groups of 10 individuals randomly selected from the population and assigned to a group based on their plans for higher education. The 3 designated groups, as I mentioned before, are individuals planning on attending an HBCU, individuals not planning on attending an HBCU, and individuals who are not planning on attending college or university at all. The measure that I plan to use within this research proposal is the in-group colorism scale. This scale was created by Richard Harvey et al. And investigates the degree to which skin tone variation is important across 5 different domains. There will also be a survey with a 5-point Likert rating system, pre-test and post-test. Procedure. All participants must be informed and aware that they are agreeing to participate in a research study regarding colorism and Eurocentrism in college. Participants must all sign consent forms before any further participation commences. Participants will be asked to reveal their plans after graduating high school, from which they will be assigned their groups. Background data will be collected from all selected participants by distributing a survey. Participants from each randomly assigned group will be asked to assemble in the lab and will be given their pre-test. After the pre-test, individuals will be asked to return in a year. Upon return, participants will be asked to fill a post-test survey. After the completion of this test, the in-group colorism scale is administered and collected. The study will then be pronounced complete. Participants will each be rewarded $50 in a participation certificate. Participants are then asked to stay for a debrief discussion. And I would like to point out that the point of our debrief is to inform participants exactly what their data is going to be used for and ensure everyone is comfortable when they walk away. Our data will be collected and empirically analyzed. And these are my references. Thank you so much for listening.